Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Kay Cote, and I am your host here on the show. And today we have Stephen Holland, Managing Director of the Riverside Glass House, as our guest. Today we're going to be talking about his business, his journey to business ownership, the troubles he's faced, and what it's really like to own and operate a business. So if this is your first time on our channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop episodes like this one. Hi, Stephen. It's nice to have you on the show. I'd love to hear a little bit about you and a brief overview of your business.
No problem. Hi, Kay. Thanks for having me on. I guess you could call me a hospitality um, through and through. It's been hospitality in my career. I'm 51 now. I started in this business when I was about 13 as a kitchen porter. Over the years, I've been involved in hotels, restaurants, pubs. I used to run nightclubs in my past years. And I guess over the last kind of 20 years, I found myself working in corporate events with clients like Wembley Stadium, um, working with celebrity chefs like Heston Blumenthal, Michelle Roux. Like I said, I'm 51 and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. Um, it's been a fantastic career to be involved in. In my years, at Wembley, I was running the biggest a la carte restaurant in Europe, with sort of 1,600 covers. And I guess it's just the exposure really to different environments. It's been great. Yeah. Is that enough? What else was I supposed to say? Sorry.
Oh, yes. No, that is great. That gives us a
Yeah.
great overview. So thank you for sharing about that, especially, your history in like within hospitality and what you've done previously. And I'd really like to dive into what you're working on now and kind of
Sure.
share about your role. Yeah, what does your role look like currently?
Sure. I guess 5 years ago, we took over this amazing space that I'm sitting in now. We kind of focus, I guess we're 80% weddings. So normally we're doing, I don't know, anything 2 to 3 weddings every week. And 20% of the business is more kind of corporate clients like, I don't know, conferences and that kind of stuff. Um, Obviously, since COVID, the conferences have been a lot less. But Unfortunately, we've had the very strong wedding business to keep us nice and busy. My As a managing director, I'm very hands-on. I have kind of learned over the last 5 years that I have to let go a little bit. I think you'll find me at every event. I'm very proud to say that in 5 years, I've only ever missed one wedding, and it was a baby wedding. And you know, I think that's really important to me to see clients' journey through from kind of inquiry right through until delivery. But that said, I have got great team of people that I work with who also add an incredible amount of value to the customer journey as well.
Oh, wow, that's really incredible. I'd like to hear how many teammates do you have or how many are on your team?
So we're a family-owned business. So we have about 8 full-timers, and then because I guess you could say it's a seasonal business. We have about 59 people on the books, and then I also call on an agency that's based in Telford for when we're particularly busy. But yeah, it's dominantly a homegrown team. We really like to invest in people and you know, get them, I don't know, ready for their next move as well.
Oh, definitely. Now, especially in focusing on the wedding industry, I'd like to know, like, if I were to walk in, and how would I know I would be a great client for your business?
I guess, I mean, there's a lot. We put a lot of work into the brochures and the online presence. So a lot of the time, before people even walk in the door, they know that the price is right. They've seen us on Instagram. They know the visuals. They know what's going to be ahead of them. And really, by the time they walk in the door here, really, it's about, are we the right people to help them plan their wedding?
Hmm.
We'll be give them a great tour, spend an hour or so with them, and just answer those really important kind of personal questions that they may have specific to their day and what their vision is for their day as well. It really is about building really strong first impressions with clients and inspiring them that you're going to be the people that they can trust with that most important day of their lives, one of the most important days.
Oh, definitely. That sounds incredible. I just love to hear about these kind of, like how you sit down with your couples and, really talk to them and make sure that's a good fit. Kind of looking at the wedding industry as a whole or events as a whole, like how do your competitors compare to you?
I've just managed to achieve number one space on Bridebook, which was one of the main sites that you may promote, your wedding venue through. When I say number one spot, that's number one spot in Warwickshire. And I think when I looked last, we were 17 in the UK, which I'm quite proud of as a very small business. And it's really about we when we first took the venue on, we did every single job. We did it bespokely. And from those jobs, what we did was we took all of the best bits, and all of those best bits have kind of gone into the brochures. So although we're working with brochures I suppose, to smooth the planning journey, I feel where we're getting it right is that each wedding feels kind of bespoke. And there is always going to be bespoke elements to every wedding, not just well, actually, every bride and groom is different, and you tend to, after working with like 120 couples a year, what I really enjoy is I meet the couple, I get to know them really well, meet them several times. They may bring their family in, we get to know them. Tend to find that mums can be quite stressed about their children getting married, and we put their mind to rest. And then you see all of their friends and family come together on the day. And so it's a really nice role. I mean, I never really planned to become a wedding planner, but the venue and just the location has it's just kind of all kind of gone in that way. And I have no regrets about that.
Well, I'd love to dive into how did you come into the venue and the wedding planning?
So obviously, my background was kind of a lot of it was London based, and I was born in Leamington Spa, where we're sitting now, but moved away. I did college and everything here and worked here. And then I decided I was going to move to London, follow the yellow brick road. And in doing so, got to work with the celebrity chefs and great venues like Claridge's. I don't know, working all over the place. But then we had children. I got married to Sarah, who is our accountant as well in the business. She does all the finance. And we got married. We had our first child, and just living in London just wasn't really working for us. So we decided to move back to Leamington, be near a parent, and of course all the support with children that comes with that. And then that I was back for about 10 years, and I was still on the road. I was traveling at least 100 miles to, I don't know, the Open Golf at St Andrews or the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff for the rugby. And it took me 10 years to find this venue. And I suppose I was a bit like a dog with a bone, really. I kept phoning, it's a council-owned building, and I kept phoning the council saying, when's the current lease up? Can we get a look in? And then eventually I got the call, and 5 years ago we got the keys. In fact, we've just completed 5 years, and we've just signed a new 10-year lease on the venue. So I guess hopefully by the time I'm 61, maybe I'll be thinking about winding down a bit, but who knows?
Oh, that's an incredible journey, especially the perseverance you had to get the venue and
Yeah,
then you finally got that call. I bet that moment was just
I just
palpable.
I just love this space. The funny thing about it's in the middle of a beautiful park. It's surrounded by water. We've got a lovely river on this side behind us, lovely pond over here, and sort of trees everywhere. And most people who grow up in Leamington, uh, they have some nostalgia, with this park. Their grandparents have brought them here. Me personally, my mum used to bring me here as a kid, and I've got pictures of me when I was 5, hanging out next to the local fountain. And so, yeah, most people who come and get married here, it's the same thing. So when you mix beautiful space, great service with, the nostalgia that people are bringing, you
Mm.
kind of got a recipe for success, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Um, kind of diving into the marketing behind your business
Mm.
too, because it sounds like this incredible space. I want to fly overseas right now and come check it out. That's how
You
like it
should.
sounds. I might one of these days. But yeah, so I'd love to hear how are you getting the word out about yourself, about like your what you offer. Are you focusing on like social media or referrals? What is your marketing tactic of choice?
I guess you could say it's all of the above. So I have somebody on the team, actually my sister, who does she's just got an eye for Instagram, and so she really champions the Instagram side of the business. And in the wedding business, really, what people are interested in seeing is how other people use the space. So
Mhm.
that's a really powerful tool for us, and I think we get a very high percentage of I, I guess it's not just Instagram. I mentioned Bridebook, where we're position 1 in Warwickshire. I think the journey is that people maybe find us on Bridebook, and then they look at our socials, and then they look at our brochures, and then they come and meet us. And so it's the real kind of stepping stone journey of each touch point. You've just got to inspire that customer with a bit more confidence that you're going to be the people that will deliver a perfect customer journey for them. We're marketing. We started off with a local lady called Kat, who helps us out with marketing. So if I need any press releases done and that kind of stuff, so that's marketing, and she's been fabulous. A really flexible person to work with, supports lots of small businesses. Um, as far as the social media stuff goes, I I've had to give it to other people because I found I don't know what it's like for everybody else out there, but when you're running your own business, you fall behind on posts. So I tend to do the comments, whereas
Mhm.
other people will put the content up.
Mhm.
And the exciting thing about more recent months, a lot of our couples and clients are using content creators to capture their events, and that's really driving a lot of traffic. And actually, it makes I think social quite an exciting place to be. So yeah, that's predominant. We don't spend an awful lot of money on marketing. A lot of it is also word of mouth. I think that, reviews, what are people saying about you? That's where it really is coming from.
Oh, definitely. Especially in that
Yeah,
industry, I could see that being like referrals and reviews and just people attending your events and maybe
yeah,
other couples in the audience who are like, oh, I really like this venue. So I could see
yeah.
that. That's really cool. And so when you organize your team and the people you work with, do you have
Mhm.
like a CRM that you're using right now, or how do you keep
I
things organized?
I do, yeah. I mean, we set this. I set this. I was always a bit of a geek with apps and stuff like that. I always liked just kind of seeing what different apps would do. So we have several that we work with. They have one that keeps the business organized, which is called Catersoft. And that manages the venue diary, it manages the timing for events, it captures the menu choices, it does the billing, all that kind of stuff. They're really a seamless operation with that. You just don't miss a trick with it. And that's a company called Catersoft. They're based in Birmingham in the UK. And I've used them for about 15 years at different venues that I've been at as well. Then we have another software called Deputy, and I'm a big believer that people like to be able to plan their lives, and we're talking about our team here. So I tend to put all the shifts up about 6 to 8 weeks ahead of when I need the people. So, for instance, our weddings are confirming, next year. In fact, we've got weddings confirmed in 2027 already. So
Mhm.
I'm in a position where I can confirm all the shifts that I need in 2 months' time. And all the guys they have the app in their pocket and they choose when they want to work. And I think that's a really powerful tool. Lots of younger people in particular, gone are the days when they have to work every single Saturday because they've got football or they've got seasonal stuff they want to do, and that's really helped us. That's really helped us retain staff, as well.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, this has been so inspiring, and I really want to dive into a little bit more about you as the business owner. And my first question is, why did you choose to go into business for yourself as opposed to working for someone else? And what was that transition like for you?
That's an interesting one. I think I first started being self-employed in 1995, and I was kind of doing freelance event management. And I think I realized at a fairly early age that I really don't like being told what to do very much. I don't mind being told what to do if I'm being told what to do by someone who knows more than I do.
Hmm.
Um, Genuinely knows more than what I do. And I think I'd worked on a couple of projects where it, the people that were own the businesses, they were real visionaries, but real risk takers as well. And you always kind of felt like, am I going to get paid at the end of this month? And I just got to a point where I thought I'm going to be better at doing this myself. I think I'm going to feel more secure. And I guess all of the businesses that I'd been practicing on for years, the nightclubs, the bars, the restaurants, the corporate hospitality events, the consulting that I was doing, I just thought, you shouldn't really be telling other people, how to run their own business if you haven't really done it yourself. So I said it's time to really get our own venue. The beauty of this business is that because I was so well networked, I've been able to choose the best people also to sit at the top of the organizational chart with me. I've got, Sarah, who is my PA, and really the day-to-day contacts with all of our clients, and she's absolutely wonderful. We've got Russell, who's my exec chef, who's also a shareholder. And ever have I had a complaint about a meal in 5 years. In fact, people say it's the best food they've ever had at a wedding,
Mhm.
which is lovely. But the journey from going from, I guess, sole trader into limited company, it's a really interesting one because you kind of think to yourself, oh my God, how can I take a PA on? How can I afford to do that? And then when you've done it, you think, oh my God, how did I afford not to do it?
Mhm.
And then it's really kind of a stepping stone. You first of all, you've got, a £4,000 or £5,000 month, wage bill on your hands. And before you know it, you're into sort of 40, 50, £60,000 a month. And it just kind of grows organically like that. And I think once you've got your head around that, then the rest of it just kind of, flows. One of the
Mhm.
biggest challenges, I guess, um, is learning how to kind of let go and trust other people to, I guess, do what you're paying them to do, asking them to do as a team. So, but I think we've achieved that as well. Yeah.
That's
Does
really
that answer your
insightful.
question? Mm,
Yes, very much. That was really
yeah.
great. And kind of like now, like diving into this rapid fire section of questions, I'm going to be asking you four questions. Answer first thing, top of mind, and just like giving people that insight to you as a business owner. So, are you ready for some
Right.
rapid fire?
I'm down. I'm down. Yeah. Mm,
All right. Our first
mm.
question is, what is the key to success for you?
Um, it's people. You wouldn't work in this business unless you really love people. And the
Mhm.
key to success in my world, I've always judged the success of every single event that we do by how my team appear at the end of it. If you've got a happy team at the end of a 12, 13, 14-hour day, you've got a happy client. And for me, that's where the success comes from. Realizing that you can't do this on your own.
Mhm.
And everybody who is on your team, what I love is a diverse team. I want some people that are a bit more shy. I want some louder characters. I want some people that are steady eddies. Some people that, just zipping all over the place. When you pull all of those different personalities and skills together, um, you can really deliver something quite special, for clients. There's a couple of things that I do pre-service. Always do a really in-depth pre-service brief. We do role plays, about how we're going to be delivering food to tables and different styles of service. We also have a couple of cheeky rules that people don't really know about, where we talk about the 6 foot rule. So none of my team will walk past a customer without saying good afternoon or good morning within 6 foot. And I think it's those kind of unwritten things that customers notice. They leave at the end of the day and say, "Oh my God, what was that? What just happened to me?"
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we aim to achieve. Really, it's just the extra 1%, in service and customer touch point.
Oh, that's great. Those are great keys to success. And so, what is one piece of advice you have for other business owners?
I think invest in your people. Mm. So you'll struggle to get me off talking about people because it is the most important thing. We when a lot of hospitality businesses over the last few years have really struggled with staff, with getting the right amount of people to deliver the right service. And what I tend to do is I give my team a finder's fee for introducing other great people. And I tend to recruit people, but with a glint in the eye. If somebody's got a glint in the eye, and that they've got a lot to bring to the table, even if you've got to invest in them and train them from the ground up, they within 6 months or 3 months or even 2 years, I've got people working for me now who started at 16, who are now
Mhm.
18, and they're fully fledged mixologists behind the bar, chucking bottles around and making cocktails. The confidence that I've seen in them grow, we obviously benefit from, and it's just a delight. I think that's the real kind of soft skills answer. The other answer is what's your cash flow? Make
Mhm.
sure that you keep on top of your cash flow. Don't, open yourselves up when you're a busy operator. Make sure you've got somebody in the team that is looking at the cash flow and looking ahead, making sure that you're not walking into, any financial disasters. With being a family-owned business, we utilized my father-in-law, Eric, who's the chair in the business, to do that because as a busy operator, you do prioritize people
Mhm.
and clients, and that's been absolutely uh, the probably the saving grace, over the last 5 years, for obvious reasons. Yeah.
That's an
Mm.
incredible answer too, and I completely agree. The third question is, what is a book or any piece of content, could be a podcast, anything that you've taken in most recently?
So I have two amazing children, and one of them struggles with anxiety. So I'm actually myself and Sarah. We've been looking at a series of podcasts and things all about anxiety, and we're becoming champions in anxiety, so as we can support our youngest daughter with kind of coming out the other side of that. I'm dyslexic, so I'm not a big reader. I pick up a book quite often and I read the pages, but the words just don't go in. So I'll tend to go to inspirational podcasts and that kind of stuff rather than reading because it just doesn't work. Which is quite common for entrepreneurs.
I'm the same way. I audiobook
Yeah,
my stuff. Yeah.
same, same. But
Uh,
time also has been a challenge. Working
yeah.
most weekends, with
Mhm.
you don't do this industry by half. So, it's if I'm not working, I'm either with my kids and wife and friends, or I'm asleep.
Got to get in those Z's. And our
Yeah.
final question is, if you had to choose only one area of business that you could rapidly improve tomorrow, what would it be?
Okay. Well, that's an easy question because the wedding business is at capacity where we're full. So it would be to get more of the corporate business back. With this last few months, we've seen a real kind of upturn in the conferences that we try to do differently. So we had a wealth management company here last week with about 80 of their clients. And, we've introduced things in the afternoon, like signature cocktail masterclass making with Tommy, our cocktail bar manager and ops manager. So 5 people coming up at a time, choosing cocktails to make and learning how to make them. And I guess just making conferences, I feel, pre-COVID, it's like you're in a room, you're listening to people talk, and we've just tried to do things a bit differently, put some fun into it.
Yeah.
Food isn't, buffets that you walk up to, it's street food that's delivered. Really tasty street food that, people are just like, oh, this is so good. No queues, and just create the environment that's open, airy, light, and fun for people to, I guess, come together in where they haven't been able to for a long time, or they've all been online, you know. So when they come together, they need something to, I guess, celebrate.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that so much. Well, before we get to our final question for the day, how can people find you online and connect with you?
So probably the best place to start is the website, which is www.just, that's JUST hyphen inspire.com. And then from there, you can find fully priced brochures for almost any event that you're looking to hold. But if you really want to get to know us, take a peek on Instagram, which is Riverside Glass House Event. And you'll see people having a whale of a time, loads of content on there. That's really, those would be the best places to begin.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Stephen. This has been an incredible conversation. And for our final question for today, what is most inspiring to you today?
Um, well, it's always nice to come out of your comfort zone a little bit, getting ready to chat to you. I don't very often sit, and I think this may well be my first ever podcast. So I didn't really know what to expect. So the literature that you sent out beforehand was really useful. And so yeah, I found this inspiring. It's nice to do something that you don't do every day. Yeah.
Love that answer too. Well, thank you so much, Stephen. It's been an absolute
Thank you.
joy to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Kay. Thanks so much for your time.